And right now it's time for that time when we have our special guest. Tonight's special guest is Billy TK Jr. Billy is following in the footsteps of his famous baby boomer father Billy TK and creating a life and reputation as a superb lead guitarist, just like his dad. Great to see them still working together. Tonight, Billy joins us on The Beat Goes On to tell us about his new CD and give 3 of our lucky viewers a chance to win a copy. We welcome Billy TK Jr. as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. Billy TK Jr.
How are you?
What an honour. What an honour to have you in our humble studio.
It's great to be here.
New Zealand's best guitarist.
Oh, second best.
Second best?
Yeah.
Dad's, of course. Dad'd have to be better, wouldn't he?
Oh, I think so.
Now, is that politics or is that true?
Oh, that's what I feel and believe. So
you're a wonderful son.
Oh, try to be.
No, to say that about your dad. Now, you know, The Beat Goes On is a program for baby boomers. Your dad,
Absolutely.
of course, is a classic, famous baby boomer. You are not, of course, Billy. What year were you born in?
I'm a 72 baby actually. So
Yeah.
not quite baby boomer.
You're in foreign territory.
I am. This is, but I'm very comfortable here in this foreign territory. So.
Billy, I saw you playing and I was blown away. Wow, what a guitarist. But let's get back to Dad. He started way back. He saw Hendrix and he thought, I'm going to be a guitarist like that.
The story goes is that he was down in Palmerston North and Wanganui around there and playing in a band down there in the Manawatu called The Sinners. And it was about 1966, 67 that, you know, that he reckons he was sitting there and Hey Joe or something of that ilk came on the radio and he just went, oh, what the heck was that? And then,
that's my life.
Oh yeah, and you know, Access Borders Love, you know, Jimmy's album, and he just had to have it, and then from there it turned, you know, it turned his head around from, you know, playing, you know, all those sort of almost Hank Marvin type, you know, Scotty Moore licks,
the Shadows,
and all that sort of stuff. It turned his head into going into the whole world of rock psychedelia.
Well, look, we've got some footage here. This is you and Dad playing just 3 or 4 weeks ago at Dida's in Victoria Street Market, and talk us through that.
We've been doing a series of shows at Dida's Wine Bar and Cafe, which is at the Glengarry Wine Shop in Vic Park Market there on Wellesley Street. And really what they've been
promotion?
Yeah, absolute shameless self-promotion there.
For the news?
Absolutely.
The new CD.
Yep, celebrating the release of my new album, Blues Benediction, which has been getting some incredible reviews. But what I wanted to do, rather than have a big event with, you know, 500 people squeezed into a room, or what I wanted to do about a series of smaller, intimate music events celebrating the album where people can actually be up close with it,
talk to you and have
talk
a chat
to
with
us,
me.
talk to us and talk to me about the album and the music, and we've had a whole bunch of great musical guests with us as well. And my dad, to me, was an important guest for this because I really believe that this is the album of my career, and it seemed fitting to have my dad guest me on these celebrations of this new album of mine, because I wanted to share that with him, because obviously he's been a huge influence, you know, on me with my guitar playing and my career, and so we've been doing a whole series of gigs, not only at Dida's but also around the place, and we've got our final one is this Thursday, the 25th, down there at 118 Wellesley Street, and it's beautiful. We have Cooper's Creek as one of my sponsors, and they give us a couple of glasses to include in the ticket price, and people get a CD as well. But it's a real, as you know, Gerard, it's a beautiful atmosphere.
Oh, loved it.
It's just amazing, it really is.
People turn up at what time? Around about 6:30,
Yeah,
7 o'clock
correct.
At Dida's Wine Bar, where Glengarry is.
Yep.
And pay their entrance price. And
Yep,
of course,
absolutely.
even buy a CD. and have a wonderful night of music. Well, why don't we just give them a little taste? We'll just give them a little taste. Let's play about 30, 40, 50 seconds of you playing the last time I was there with you and had a wonderful night.
Fantastic.
What is this particular song that you're playing?
The song that we're going to have a look at now, I believe, is In the Middle of the Night, which is about basically doing the midnight flit on someone.
You don't do that, do you?
Never.
Billy, you're a maestro. You're wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Now, that didn't take 5 minutes to learn that, did it, Billy? It's a long, long journey to get that good, isn't it?
No, it didn't take 5 minutes, actually. I think it's really important to work on your dexterity and to practice, but one of the difficult things I think about what I do with my playing is it's stuff that you can't practice, because it's about feeling and playing how you feel at the time. And if you know, these other disciplines that go in there to makes sure that you always deliver a quality product, for sure. It really is about being in touch with my feeling and how I feel at the time, and wanting to connect with the guitar, connect with the music.
And the audience, of course.
And
it's
the
all
audience.
interconnected, isn't it?
They're absolutely linked. You can't, if there's something missing, it'll come out in what you're playing.
Billy, what I wanted to say was, there was your dad, good baby boomer, and here the son comes along. Now, a lot of sons do not want to follow in the footsteps of their father. They'll go off in another direction in life, and dad can be a carpenter or a dad, but they're going to do something different. But you decided to be like your dad was, and that's great tribute to your dad. But is it in the DNA? Is it in the genes to play a guitar?
Yeah, I wonder, because I actually spent a good portion of my childhood growing up without my dad, because my mum and my dad parted when I was very little, and so by the time I actually caught up with my dad again and went and lived with him and spent time with him, I'd already started playing guitar.
Mm. But you knew your dad was a great guitarist.
Oh yeah, I'd heard from teachers when I was at school that were big fans of his from their university days and all that. I think I suspect that it probably is in the blood a bit, but I always say this to people who ask me about that same question is, you know, there's only one person on stage when I play, and that's me, and it's, you know, at the end of the day, you know, genetics probably played a part in getting me to that point, but it's certainly, you know, my whole being, if you like, which makes me play the way that I play. But certainly over the years, I've become more and more suspicious of the fact that I believe that my genes have played a part in it. But at the same time, I mean, I remember being, you know, very, very young, you know, sort of 2 years of age, standing there and watching my dad's band Powerhouse, and watching all these, you know, long-haired, hippie-looking, you know, Māoris and Pākehās.
Where did it all go?
Yeah, I know, sort of playing far out, you know, Santana-ish type, you know, big music, and with my dad blazing over the top. I remember that very, very clearly, and I think that always had a probably had an effect on me that perhaps I wasn't even conscious of, but it certainly came out.
You were
of me
saturated with it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, and my mum says that because I'm a twin. You see, I've got a twin sister.
Oh, have you?
I have, and she says that we used to go to all the gigs.
What's your sister's
when she was pregnant. My sister's name was Kitty.
Kitty?
Kitty.
Let's say hi to Kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
Now, Billy, you're world class. There's nobody could argue with that. You're a world class guitarist. You're in New Zealand. The world is your. When I see you play, the world is your oyster. What are you still doing here?
Yeah, well, that's that is a good question. Part of that answer is, actually, a resolve to that answer is we're going to Sydney next week to after Dida's on Thursday night. We're going on Friday. We're flying to Sydney to co-headline the Sydney Blues Festival. I spent a lot of time in Texas when I was a young man in my early 20s, and loved it over there. The Americans loved me, and I loved Texas. But I had a family back home, and I guess probably I was one of those few musicians that couldn't quite stomach the idea of leaving
developing
my
a whole new life in Texas or something.
Well,
like that.
yeah. I mean, to quote the famous John Dix book, about being stranded in paradise. We really do have paradise here in so many different ways, and the climate, the geography, and all those sorts of things. But it's where my family was, and I think to be a very, very successful musician, on most terms requires selfishness. And I wasn't quite prepared to be 100% selfish down that way. I was prepared to make sacrifices, but not to the point where my kids didn't know who I was and didn't know me.
And you've got a lovely family. Tell us about your family.
Oh yeah, I've got a beautiful wife, Corinne, who I hope she's watching this and hearing me say this. And I've got 5 beautiful kids and even a grandchild. So there you go, like that.
Wow. My
19-year-old made me a granddaddy almost a year ago, and I'm very committed to my family. My wife and I are committed Christians, and so a lot of the stuff that the rock and roll stuff, the greatest thing that I get out of my life is being able to have a beautiful home life and to have my walk with God, and that's really, really important to me. And I think that's, if anything, in terms of going further afield, because this album's already been reviewed internationally, and I'm very
well, it should be.
I'm very proud of it, actually. Some of the reviews we've got are just amazing, and I've just been told by my Sydney publicist that a major Australian magazine want me for their front cover, and that'll be a real big curve that comes off, and that'll be early next year.
Now there's a guitar over there sitting. I can see it. It's a beautiful red Fender.
Oh yes. This is my other wife.
This is your.
This is my girlfriend. Yeah. Yep. I've only got one wife, but
what we wanted to ask was, when you feel that guitar, what are you feeling when you
it's kind of like it feels like it's a friend, an old friend of mine, but it's always. I heard Santana do an interview, and he was saying that it's like an old and a new friend all at once, where because every time you play it, it's like you're touching it for the first time, but it's really weird that, but you're doing things that you're familiar with, and through repetition what you're going to do, but it's kind of always different.
Wow. Wonderful. Every man, and I'm sure every woman, dreams of being able to pick up the guitar and just do exactly what you've done. It's something. It's glamorous. It's sexy, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I've been told it's sexy, which is kind of, I see the other side of it, which I don't find. It
can lead an individual down the road of the devil.
Oh yeah, and that's certainly not where I want to be. But it's amazing what it does to people. I'm kind of always amazed by it.
What's the first thing? There must be about 2 or 3 famous licks, starting with Chuck Berry.
Chuck
What do you
Berry.
have to learn?
And then you start, listening to like Buddy Guy and Eric Clapton, which are your licks like this. Stuff like that. that's when you get into what we call pentatonic licks, you know. But for me, it was always going to be, you know, blues, you know, there's something where you can really ring the note out.
Where do you go to, Billy, when you're up there and you're doing that? I've watched you in action, and
Yep.
you're in another world. It's wonderful. Where are you at that point?
Floating around somewhere in my brain, but it's a funny thing. I actually got a mate who's a top doctor, and he's really watched me really close for a long time. And from a medical point of view, he's been trying for years to work out that very thing. And I think it's a combination of just letting go, really. Of you have a pattern or a plan in your head about where you're going and what you're doing, but it's really about letting go and allowing yourself to almost remote control what you're doing. And I think that is the difference between someone who plays by feel and inspiration versus someone who's just a technician.
Now, Billy, we haven't got a lot of time because we could go for 4 hours, you and I, just chatting about music.
Absolutely.
We have to let our viewers know that we've got albums here. We've got 3 CDs to give away. So we need a question for the viewers to qualify. Something about Billy TK, the fact that you'll be playing
somewhere on Thursday the 25th.
Somewhere on Thursday night.
Okay, the question is for the audience out there to win my new album, Blues Benediction, is where am I playing this Thursday night at 118 Wellesley Street, Vic Park? Where am I playing?
Well, we know the answer. Should we give them the answer? So we won't make it hard. It's at Dida's, isn't it?
At Dida's Wine Bar, of course.
Yeah, we'll put that in the subject line, and you could win yourself from the draw one of these fabulous albums. You have a wonderful life, young Billy TK.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to say, look, best of luck for the future. You've got a great life ahead of you. Whether it's Russia, Greece, you name any country in the world, they'd sit mesmerised and watching you play. So what a great talent to have.
Oh, thank you very much.